Hi, my name's Rachel and I run a blog called lettheirlightshine.com. I just want to show you a very easy way to make an angel using some very basic things, and this angel will stand up on its own or could be a tree topper. So these are my two angels that we made probably last Christmas. I think they're looking a little bit worse for wear in places. So basically I'll show you how you can make these guys, and what you need really is start with a paper plate, good old paper plate. This is a cheap and cheerful paper plate. You don't want anything too sturdy. You want something thin and fairly flimsy. So the first thing we're going to do is fold our plate in half. So do not worry too much if it's not all exact. And then we're going to cut it in half. Now, if you're making this with your own children or with children that are very competent with scissors, then that's great for children to do this themselves. But if you're making this at a toddler group with preschoolers, then I would do the cutting out preparation beforehand. So we're going to just use half the paper plate per angel, and then we're going to fold it into thirds. And likewise, very young children will need help with this, or you can do this stage ahead. So do not worry if it's not perfect. It really doesn't matter at this point. Just fold it over. There we go. So we have our paper plate folded into thirds. Now at this point, it matters what we do. I need to find my glue. There it is. So we need to glue this in a certain way in order for it to stand up or become a tree topper. So we're going to glue just one of those edges. Lots of glue. You want it to be really sticky. And fold and glue it down. So this is the body that you're making. Okay, and then with the other third that hasn't been glued yet, glue across the top and also the rim. And then glue down. So your thirds all glued together. You have to press quite hard. It's a bit frustrating, but it has to be done. Now, what you're looking for is that you'll have still an opening here, and that's quite important. So that will help it become a tree topper, but also it will mean that it can stand up. And I'm having real trouble with my glue. So there we go. It will stand up, and that's what you're aiming for. Now we're going to add some of the other bits and bobs so that it becomes an angel. So now we don't know if angels actually have wings, but this one is going to have some, and that will be a good old doily. Now I would fold this in half and cut it, but you don't have to do that. You could just fold it. And if children are doing this, actually doilies are not that great to cut because they're all a bit flimsy in places. So you could just do it like that. And that's quite a big doily actually. So you could find one that's a little bit smaller. Now with the part that's been glued down, mine is trying to escape. Lots of glue on, attach the doily. And this becomes the back of your angel. So lots and lots of glue. And then more or less, if you can in the middle, stick it down. So there she is, or he is. So the Bible's very clear that angels are big and strong messengers from God. They're not fairies. So here we go. Having a bit of trouble getting it to stand up. there we go. So we have wings. Now, obviously, we need a face. So we're going to just put that to one side because we're going to sort out the face first. So you could have bright yellow. And sometimes I like to have brown because angels could be any colour really. And I've got a pen to hand, so that's what I'm going to use. We could use a felt tip, you could use crayons, anything you like to put on some features. So a couple of eyes and a mouth. And obviously if children do this for themselves, you'll end up with some really characterful creations, and that's really fantastic. Then some hair. So I've got a mixture of different sorts of wool or yarn. It's probably acrylic. And I'm just going to cut a bit of that and stick it on. So if this was as a toddler group, all of this cutting of wool would be done ahead. And the children could have a variety of colours. And again, stick this on before you add your face to the body. So there we go. Got a little bit of hair there. As much or as little as you want. Right, so we go back to our body and we're going to add the head. Now it's much better if you glue a bit of the triangle rather than the head, because otherwise you'll end up with glue all over the back, but it won't be adhesive, it won't be adhering to anything apart from your table. So that's really something you'd like to avoid. So if you can, encourage a bit of gluing straight onto the triangle and then attach the head. Press down really hard. Now, there's a few finishing touches that you can do. You can either colour, or you could add a bit of Christmas wrapping paper from previous years. So this is my wrapping paper from a year or two ago, and we can put that on. Different shapes, a little bit of shininess is a really nice thing. So, and it can just be really random. It doesn't have to be in any sort of particular pattern. I think sometimes children do this much better than we do it. So there we go. A few random shiny bits. You can also do just sticky stars. They can be really nice. And there you have, there we go, can you see that? Our angel. Let's move the glue out the way. That will stand up on its own, or you could put it on top of a tree. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. This is the very first one we've made, so it might be a bit ropey in parts, but we'll be making a few more. So there's other instructions up on the blog, lettheirlightshine.com. Really nice to have you watch today. Thank you. Bye bye.